So, Roma, nil. Inter, 1. Yeah, weren't Roma fighting for actually a Scudetto race? It's a bit somewhat. Roma with the strongest defense, best defense in Serie A. Inter really scoring goals. So yeah, and the result is like 1-0 Inter. If we're gonna say something about Gasparini, Inter is really his boogeyman team. If I look at his record rates here, yeah, look at the top right there, 5 wins. And his last wins against 2018. I think it can't show it, but it's 2018. I zoom in for because I don't want to show how many browser tabs I have for this, but last match is 2018. Of all the 5 wins, Banter era, Banter era, Banter era, and Banter era. So Gasparini haven't won a game against us in a while. It's 20. It's really boogeyman team. Draw, lose, lose. And we can see that record. Record continues, even in Roma. But I'm going to talk more about the first half. Because I think for the lineup, it's all right lineup. It's a good lineup. Is win the ball in the air. You'll win the ball in the air if you're going. The defense, that's a prize, really. Because first half Roma, cross, get Pellegrini, Dybala, or Sule to win the ball in the air. Problem is that I do not see these are the type of players to win the ball in the air. I know because if we start Bisek, of course they have a chance. He's not good in the air, despite being like 6'5" or something. But yeah, comfortable in the first half. Of course, a Bonnie goal, beautiful, and a Barella assist. Passing range is beautiful right there. Let's ping the ball up to Bonnie and whips there. And nice for him to be brave at shooting. Because he could have just squared to, I think, who's making another run? Is it DeMarco or Mkhitaryan? He would have probably just give it to them, and hopefully score something. But with the ball in tight corner, goal. For the first half, of course, Roma did struggle with creating chances in the first half. Okay, we'll probably get a second at some point. Second half, I'm not happy with the performance for the second half. In fact, it's a tale of two halves. Of course, I think that Kivu's subs changed the game. Even though I think that his midfielder subs are very high risk. In the second half, Roma are creating chances. They could have scored some. But it's very nice for Sommer to play well. I think it's Sommer masterclass for second half. Because there are few standout players, a few players that's nothing impressive. Players like Stinker. Roma, Roma had like 5 shots on target. I think most of it from the second half, especially Dovbyk, who I think wasted a lot of chances. I really think it's first and second half. Because I think Pio, yeah, good. Sub. He didn't score, but yeah, he managed to get the ball, win the duels. Which is, strikers are not going to get the ball a lot, win the duels, win the fouls. I like that. He can win those, especially when Roma step up their physicality in the second half. I know table-wise that Inter are top of the table, but Juve with Como and Milan with Fiorentina. Fiorentina with Pioli. And I think Milan can capitalize on that. Because Napoli dropped points, Roma dropped points. Milan with Allegri, Fiorentina with Pioli. I would be careful with Fiorentina. Hope that Pioli doesn't get sacked by then. Because for Allegri, he has a very good record. He has a very good record against Pioli. Pioli only has 2 wins against Allegri, I think. It's based on transfer marks. But Como, Juve, I wouldn't sleep on Como. Because I think they can probably pull a surprise against Juve. That's what I think. So yeah, I'll be doing a watch along for Milan and Fiorentina. I think from reading from Milan Twitter is that Milan are dealing with an injury problem. And so is Napoli. No Højlund or McTominay, but we'll see from the UCL if they're able to show up. I don't know how long it'll be. But 3 points is 3 points. Back to game, we did learn how to suffer. Suffering. In fact, I think it's suffering quite a lot. When it feels like it's the 90th minute, 85th minute, but it's really 67th. Yeah, that is the feeling. There can be so many chances it'll got mirrors of some games where other team misses a lot of chances. So I'm going to do the draw board. Because I think that we talked about the referees. Referees really lost control of the game. I'm not happy with the referee. Refereeing is like awful. When a Roma player fouls an Inter player, nothing happens. You need to really, really foul them. If Inter touches a Roma player, you get a foul or maybe a yellow. Check Lautoro's yellow card. It's not soft yellow. Yeah, it's Roma. They get the soft fouls. It's like to have like WWE. Ref lost control of the match. But for match ratings, Sommer, I'll give him 7.5. His distribution is alright, but saves are very crucial in the second half. Not my man of the match because I think Bonnie would be my man of the match. Bastoni, 6.5. They keep up with Gasparini's Roma. They have the physical side. They are physical side. I know Cristante, I do not rate him well, but he is a physical player. At Cherby, I'll give him 6. I think the front three, Roma's front three got pocketed hard because Roma first half they got it's cross, and nothing's going to happen. So you're going to cross. Who do you think will win the headers? Is it Dybala? Is it Pellegrini? Or is it Sule? Because I think that Dybala has a passing and a dribbling, passing range, and he can shoot. Sule can dribble. Pellegrini, I don't know. Akanji, I'll give him 6. 6.5. Because I think it should be knocked down a point because came close with a Sule's shot. Gives him for Sommer. Hakan, I'll give him 7. Hakan, he actually might be back as long as he doesn't get injured and stuff. But defensively, he played well. I mean, we're going to struggle controlling the game. That's really Roma's physicality. Mickey, besides final third, because it was like not defensive contribution, but he did well. Defensively, he did well. not expect. Because when you have Fratesi, Susic, Mickey, and Zielinski on, you thought Susic would be doing the defensive work because he can win the ball. But turns out to be Mickey. 6, Barella. I'll give Barella 7. Because he's been our creative outlet against Roma. One ping the ball, like, okay, it's over for Roma. Yeah, I think that who's played Boy on side again? Is it Indica? Yeah, maybe. Is it Indica? I don't remember. But 7. You know, if he goes to Regista, he can ping the ball. He has the passing range to do so. But yeah. DeMarco, I'll give him 6.5. Defensively great. And also our creative outlet. In fact, if you look at creative outlet, Hakan, Barella, Dumfries, and DeMarco. They create whatever they can against Roma's press. But defensively, he did well. Another thing is, I'm surprised that DeMarco's playing, close to 90 or 90 minutes? His fitness is really improving. It's like, you ever notice that? He's not getting subbed out at 60 minutes, where he looks tired. But yeah, Dumfries. 5. Nothing impressive. I mean, to be fair, he got like 3 or 4 players swarming at him. But when he's not, there's some chance he got it buried. And passing is off. Latoro. 5.5. Invisible. And how many duels has he won? Because I don't keep track of stats. I'll do a quick check. Let's see. Tackles 1. I don't know. I can't find it. But not a lot of touches by the looks of it, so there's that. Touches, like, no presence. Perhaps it's not a game for Latoro since Roma are playing very physical. Bonnie, 7.5. Man of the match. You know, for Inter, we have a striker problem, but it's a problem I'm sure every team would love. Imagine a choice between we gone from Latoro, Taremi, Arnautovic, and Correa to Latoro, Taram, Bonnie, and Pio. Of course, it's very unfortunate we didn't get Lookman, or for midfield we didn't get Kone. But yeah, can you imagine balancing between four players who played very well and start, whereas Pio can slowly integrate. Probably he's like borderline starting 11 and bench for me. Bonnie too, starting 11 or bench. They can start for starting 11. Because Pio, even though he didn't score, he has the hold up play and can win fouls. He knows how to use his physicality. So, but yeah, hold up play. Pio's 6.5 for me. Fratesi. I think if I'm gonna get Pio 6.5, I'm gonna look at Mickey 6.5. You know, final third thing, awful. Fratesi, I'll give them 5. Like, I think of midfield sort of regrets because you know that's Fratesi. If he's getting pocket in the final third, he's pretty much have no use. So yeah, because Fratesi more useful in the final third. He's even makes all his plays there. Build up, no. Susic, nothing impressive. And nothing dazzling for Susic. Carlson Zielinski, I'm not going to race, and the game is so late. But for Zielinski, This guy hasn't been impressive. Coming off the bench or starting. I know it's expected for him to. Yeah, it's not. It's gonna be very tough for that. He's not expected to defend because he doesn't have the defensive attributes. In fact, I think the monumental risk. Zelensky, Mickey, Fertezi, and Susic. He thought that Susic would be doing all the defending because we know Zelensky's defensive work rate. Yeah, we did bring Kone. We did bring Kone back. Actually, bring Kone last window. We were linked to him last summer. I think it would be a solid balanced midfield since Kone clearly has defensive output. In fact, I think Kone played very well for Roma. Very standout player. For Kibu, I'll give him 6. You know, I expect a lot of rotation against USG because in Napoli after that. USG then Napoli. So Kibu 6, Lamb's alright. Peel's a good sub. But for the rest, monumental risk. For halftime, I think he learned how to teach the team how to suffer. Referees. 2. You know, I really don't give referees like 1s because if there's a 1, match really had to be called off because they really lost control. But for 2, WWE match, I think that the fouls are very, very one-sided. When a Roma player fouled Inter player, you need to really, really foul them, and you only get away with a yellow. When Inter touches a Roma player, they get carded or gets a foul, easy foul. That's all I'm gonna say for my post-match reaction. You can post your ratings with 6 being average and out of 10. I'm gonna say the usual YouTube stuff. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video. So yeah, that's it for me. I think tomorrow I'll be doing a Milan Fiorentina watch along. Because I think that Milan will win that game. This is Pioli. And they're fighting relegation. So, yep. Bye everyone. See you soon.